Hey YouTube, this is Mr. King Liam, and for today I am bringing to you my New Year's special of my top 10 videos, and it focuses on the top 10 archetypes of this year. Now this year there have been quite a few archetypes released. There's been Evil Swarms, there's been DWs, Heraldric Beasts, Mecha Phantom Beasts, tons of archetypes released this year. But of course, some do better than others. So in this video I'll be explaining, in my opinion, what are the 10 top 10 archetypes of this year, and why I think that. Coming in at number 10 we have Battling Boxers. Now the reason Battling Boxers is on this list is because Battling Boxers is quite a budget deck, and they're still going to be getting more support, I believe, in the future, so they could be an even stronger deck in the future. Also, the reason I decided to put this one on the list is because quite a few decks these days are quite high price decks, so Battling Boxes makes an interesting cheap budget deck. At number 9 we have Dustins. Now for a long time a lot of people didn't know what to think of Dustins. When the first Dustin was released back in the Best Rising, I believe it was, with the yellow, I think it was either yellow or red Dustin. Well, definitely no House Dustin was released then. But since they've had most of their Dustin cards released, they've actually been used for quite an interesting OTK with Goblin King. So basically you summon all the Dustins on the opponent's side of the field, and then you use Goblin King, and can't remember exactly how the OTK works, but I know it's a one-turn kill. I do know that. At number 8 we have Boojums. Now at the moment Boojums is it's not bad of a deck. The only problem is it doesn't really have that many targets for Yamato. But I know that Boojums will be getting more support in Legacy of the Valiant, and I believe they're getting more in Primal Origin as well. So they should be an even more powerful deck in the future. Number 7 we have ZWs. Now ZWs, of course, they can have their own deck profile using Utopia, but they can also be used in other variants as well. Like the Exceed especially can be used in rank 5 exceed decks. Can be used, I believe it can be used with Cyber Dragons. So it's not just a one deck archetype. It can be also put into multiple deck profiles. Number 6 we have Noble Knights. Now for the past just over the past year we've had on average of one Noble Knight released in the set. But from Shadow Spectres we had quite a bit of Noble Knight support. We had Lady of the Lake, we had an Exceed, a Synchro, and of course Excalibur, I think was the Noble Arms Excalibur, I think was the other card. Oh, and Noble Knight Boars. Anyway, this deck profile has grown over the last year. I think it had an ODK with Gorchavad earlier on in the year. But now that it's got its own deck profile, it's even more stronger and gives a wider choice for Noble Knight players. Now number 5 is Mermills. This might seem a little bit of an odd choice, seeing Mermills this high up on the list, but let me explain. In the beginning of the year, around say Cosmo Blazer-ish time, Mermills were in the top 3 of the format, I'd say. However, things changed after Hidden Arsenal 7 and Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. Even more stronger deck profiles were released, which kind of damaged Mermills for rank 7s. Well, they did get more support with rank 7s, but other deck profiles could use them a lot better. And probably the deck profile overall that hurt Mermills the most was number 3, Evil Swarms. Now Evil Swarms, especially Ophion, this deck profile definitely hurts like Synchro decks, high level summoning decks, so this can cause a big problem for other deck profiles. This is why Mermills were higher up the list, so weren't higher up the list. It's because Evil Swarms kind of damage their chances. 3 Ophion, and they're going to have trouble bringing out their level 7s. Also, I have to say, this is probably one of my favourite archetypes that was released this year. There are some other ones, but this is what I think was the best, not my favourite of this year. Number 3, Fire Fists. Now, Fire Fists was released back in Cosmo Blazer, and for a while, Bear was a very expensive card. But then they got a reprint recently in the tins, and also I think Fire Fists next format will be getting even stronger because, of course, 5 formation Tenki is now at 3 again, and they can be really dangerous with Constellas. So I think Fire Fists has been a good deck profile this format, but I think in the next format it will be even stronger with the Constella build. At number 2 we have Prophecy / Spellbooks. Now this probably is the most expensive deck profile on the list, because of course before all the reprints came out, most of their cards, High Priestess of Prophecy, Spellbook of Secrets, Spellbook of Masters, was all secret rares. I think there was 1 or 2 that wasn't, but most of it was secret, making this probably, I'd say, the most expensive deck profile of the year. Prophecies, they definitely did have a very good run, and when Spellbook of Judgment came out, they were definitely tier 1, and they were in control quite a bit. I think in the next format, Prophecy will still be strong, even though Spellbook of Fate is now limited to 1. Prophecies, I think, will still be strong in the next format. And at number 1, I think everyone could guess what was going to be on this list: Dragon Rulers. Now, when Dragon Rulers released in Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, the rank 7 popularity shot right up, meaning cards like number 11 Big Eye, Draco Sack, and even 74, they went up in price. Now, Dragon Rulers, after they were released, they pretty much dominated every single YCS, I think. Not sure if they won the World Championship, but I suspect they came pretty close if they didn't. Anyway, well, the Dragon Rulers luckily have now been limited to 1, because this is probably one of those decks which people don't like to play against. I'm not sure if it's annoying as like Final Countdown, but at least it will be nice to have a change from Dragon Rulers now. Although some people are saying, including myself, that Dragon Rulers won't be killed off that easily, and they'll just do the wind-up effect, really, where they get some cards hit, but they rebuild even stronger. That's what I'm afraid of. But anyway, Dragon Rulers was easily the number 1 on this list, because it practically dominated everything it went into. But it will be nice to see a change in next format. So anyway, there is my top 10 archetypes of the year for my New Year's special. Now, hopefully in the next format, some deck profiles are given a better chance to shine. I definitely know that the Constella Fire Fist deck will be probably one of the main meta decks. Light Swarms are getting more support. Gravekeepers as well. Dark Worlds is getting more support in May, along with a couple of other deck profiles, including Gusto support, which I'm really looking forward to. Also, Heraldric Beasts is getting new support next in the next set, so I'll be interested. I'll be go keep my eye on that. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and just a quick update. I've now decided, starting from the new year, I'm going to move my top 10 videos. I'm going to keep them on a Tuesday. However, I'm going to probably do on either once every 2 weeks or once every month, so I don't run out of ideas too quickly. I might do the occasional one once per week, but for now it'll stay at it'll stay at one per 2 weeks. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and this is Mr. King Liam saying bye YouTube.